Hey guys, how you doing? Once again, I'm Nev from Nev's Tech Bits, otherwise known as your friendly neighborhood basement dweller. Don't worry, ma'am, I am from the internet. Today we're checking out Popular Mechanics September 1985. Of course, what we like to do is have a look back and see how technology and science and society have all changed together. Steam is back on the fast track. That is so interesting. We use Steam for so frickin' much. I mean, we have all of these power generators all over North America that use coal or nuclear or geez, we do have some solar, and all of them, what they do, just like this steam train, is they boil water and they manage to turbines. You just use steam to power a turbine that powers a generator. It's just how do you heat that water up? Do you use the sun? Do you use coal? Or do you use nuclear? And man, if you could see the insides of these steam trains, what you'd see is a whole bunch of pipes going back and forth. There's even a famous photo of a unit that exploded and all the pipes are coming out of it. Now, you think these things look technical from here. If you take a look on the inside, it's just beauty. It's just all art as far as engineering goes. Anyways, let's take a look at what we got inside. Wait a sec. Sorry, I just noticed smartphones get smarter. Let's see how smart these smartphones are, shall we? The Dremel's always been a well-needed tool. Lots of uses for it, and geez, you can even sharpen chainsaws with them if you have the right kits. Oh, you can see we're getting into the 80s because the airbrushing is getting off the hook, off the shelf, top shelf type of art. What do we got going on today? Oh, geez, I wonder what the lock-picking lawyer would think about the Master Resettable Combination Padlock. Only $6.99. Geez, that price is pretty much about the same as you'd think you'd get it for these days. Not much different. Charge it. Use Visa and MasterCard. I bet Visa and MasterCard were still kind of a new thing in the time. Now, it's interesting how much society has changed when it comes to debt. I mean, there was a time when I was raised in my Christian Baptist and Catholic schools, they said, don't take on debt, don't take on any more that you can get. Don't take on any at all. And then I have so many friends in Canada that just went nuts in debt. I have so many friends that were just stupid in debt, and they end up coming out ahead because they went in debt for housing too, and they sold their housing for other housing, and the price was just, they made so much money, it's infuriating. And the crazy thinking has even gone to other markets. Like, for example, Magic the Gathering. I know that we don't like to talk about geeky stuff so much, but these days, it used to be that the old cards would be worth the most money. But these days, people are trading the old cards for the new cards. It's just freaking amazing. It's like we've gone nuts. I'm sure the Christians would probably say that this is the age of apocalypse type thing, when everybody knows the price of everything but the value of nothing. I'm not trying to wax religious intellectual, but I do regret not getting housing earlier. Number one, power in V8 Ford pickups. I wonder if you'd have any problems going through the water in that. I knew a guy that got a new truck and drove it through a big mud puddle and ended up cracking his engine block because he got water on the aluminum engine. That would be infuriating to me. Remember New Kids on the Block? The right stuff. Oh, this is the good stuff, the stuff I'm really into. Back in the day, you had lots of Duracell commercials where they used interesting toys to say you can't stop the copper top. And you'd never see these figures on the shelves or anywhere, but man, the way that they were put together was interesting. I'd like to figure out the architect of those things and if they actually worked. They have this kind of cartoonish, what would that be? A kind of a water paint. And over here we got the Video 8 showing the actual size mini 8 cassette. Those things were really small, that's for sure. I still got a few of those up in my attic. Merit Sagres. I would hate to drop into the briny deep way out there, especially if she was some choppy seas. This is the SDI, Strategic Defense Initiative scientists at the University of Rochester. Drop a political bombshell for those Political bombshell for world peace. He proposed a global treaty that would see a launching of the SDI weapons laser, for example, into orbit. They would be under control of another satellite. I guess they're talking about, yeah, a satellite that could destroy missiles as they go through the sky. That is freaking interesting. Telemetry in orbit. Lasers, my guys. Lasers. Low orbit ion cannons. Get down to the fundamentals. Enjoy the experience of woodworking. Do we even have woodworking shops in classes these days in high schools? All I know is if you got a grandpa, a dad, or anyone that'll make you a rocking horse if you were little, you had a pretty good family setup going on, I think. I don't know about y'all, but I come from an age of latchkey kids, taking it to the limit. You won't catch me on anything else. Huh. I'm thinking that what they're trying to say here is that if you buy one of these Kawasaki's, they'll set you up for a weekend with a really hot blonde. But seriously, the type of woman I would date would love to fire around on one of those things. Hell yeah. Well, that's interesting. Ripley's Believe It or Not selling equipment? What? Did you know that using a coffee can and toothbrush to clean a lot of mechanical parts is like shoveling snow with a spoon? Do people actually use coffee to clean parts? What the frick? Introducing the new Safety Clean self-service part washer. Wait, Ripley's Believe It or Not is selling out? Huh. You could use coffee? I mean, I've heard about Coca-Cola, but never coffee. Interesting. Ah, remember those old kinds of pumps? Pepper's Farm remembers. Amazing new third brake light can save your life. People will definitely know you're braking with one of these. Do they still make these? Like, I see these on the road, but I'm trying to wonder if new vehicles have these. I don't think they do so much. Replacing ball joints. I used to work at a place that manufactured those. And the whole arm ended up becoming aluminum. They'd manufacture that whole thing. And you got to be careful with aluminum because it has a flash point. That's right, aluminum can catch on fire. We learned that the hard way. Yay! We also learned the hard way that oil coolant can light on fire when we had I think it was a Meritech mill just suddenly catch fire. It was the craziest thing. Be all that you can be in the army. Man, I'd love to be in front of that setup. Check that out. Jeez, that's wonderful looking. Satellite TV hits the road. Really? That's not camping. That is not camping. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do, but that's not camping. It's RVing. Okay, let's call it that. Light my lucky. I'm sorry, but is that supposed to be like a little bit gay? I have no problems one way or another, right? Like, I got lots of friends like that. We're in the new age and whatnot, but it's just like, I don't know. I don't know. Moving on. CDs go cruising. Yep. I'm not sure if I'd want to take that cruising unless you had the skip control. What do they call it? Anti-skip? And you get like up to 1 minute, and that way it wouldn't skip as you go, because man, those original ones were rough when it came to that kind of stuff. Once again, we got the CIE board, and I would love to use one of those things. Expand your career horizons. Got the bread box there and all the numbers. I gotta look up how they use that stuff. Very 80s looking. That green grid on screen, very 80s, 100%. Come to Marlboro country. Hey, wait, is that the classic Marlboro Man? I think it is a classic Marlboro Man. It took me quite a while to figure it out, but there's one particular jack that they like to use for this stuff. Now, I really wonder, is any old river water okay for a horse? Because, man, I got a river coming through town here. What is it, the Saugeen, the Maitland? And you can't let your kids, they got warning signs. Don't let kids play in the river. I mean, I'm in a frickin' village. I should be able to jump in the water and catch some crawfish if I need. Well, we call them crayfish, sorry. Yeah, it's really funny if you get an old dog in the water and just kicking it. You're just kicking it, reading a book on the shore, and the dog suddenly jumps and barks at something in the water. Oh, I love horses. I love dogs. Chrysler's biggest change for 86 is this Laser XT, a sporty package that includes spoiler, Louvière, and T-top. Louvers. Lovers. Hey, it has lovers kicking out in the back, I guess. Check it out, Mickey Mouse is advertising cameras. Video, think small. Man, these old camcorders, they could be really something. You'd have to have really good light or you weren't much good with them. I'm really glad that we're in the future and that I can just do something like this with a cell phone. I don't even need a camera. Oh, this is the stuff I'm into. Image tube versus solid state sensor? What? I guess solid state means we're getting more into the digital stuff. Huh. I don't care what you use as long as it works. I love the idea that a processing unit, a CPU, is basically an electron dancing across a crystal. It's true. Oh yeah, torture tests for trucks. I'd be in for that. And for a penny, in for a pound, I'd be there all day. Mr. Watson, come here. I want you. Oh, this must be the voice-activated, awesome new phone. Sorry if you can hear my kid in the background. He's rocking down some Roblox. It's my week with him. Yes, Virginia, this is a telephone. TTC's voice recognition phone means hands-free dialing. I wonder how good the hands-free dialing is because I remember back in the day, like 1999, maybe 2001, we had lots of cell phones that were supposed to be able to communicate with, and it just didn't work very well. Kind of like Androids when they first started, that they make all kinds of promises, but they couldn't do it very well. I don't know if it's still like that, but oh, look at all the giblets on this one. That is tripping. That is awesome. Unitex, cordless AM/FM radio. Jeez, I want one of those right now. I wonder if I could still get batteries to use on that thing. Oh, just in case you're talking to your mom or your grandma and you got nothing better to do, you can just watch some TV. Man, there was a woman in my town that was known to just talk on forever. She was hanging out with my neighbor, and my neighbor went to sleep while this lady was talking to her. She goes to sleep, she wakes up like 15 minutes later, and the lady just keeps on talking. Like, what? That lady was something else. She was something else. Oh, Steam's back and fast on track. I mean, if it works, right? Beautiful old machines. Yeah, there it is. That's what I was talking about. The steam recirculation tubes around the boiler. Now, what I don't understand and what I'm going to have to look up is how the tubes transferred to the wheels ultimately. Somehow that heat had to hit the wheels, and I got to figure out exactly how. But at the same time, man, oh, I want to see a train that just has the top off so you can look at those pipes. And this is the newer version, sand-filled belt. Sand-filled. That's interesting. Limestone, firebox entry, air tube. Okay. I've even heard of some trains that have sand on them so that if they start to slide, the sand that's dropped can give them a little more grip, which is perfect and lovely, and I love it. And here we have an oak file cabinet. Remember back in the day when everyone just had schematics for things? You could open something up and have a schematic for it, like a radio or something. Pepperidge Farm remembers. These days we got good old Louis Rossman fighting John Deere to try to make sure that farmers have the ability to repair their own tractors. I can't believe that. Where the frick does John Deere get off acting like the only people that can repair their stuff is them? I mean, the balls, the sheer balls on John Deere. When I hear about stuff like that, I kind of think part of America is just frickin' dead, and it's because Wall Street wants to take over not only Main Street, but whatever back street you might have your co-op or your the farmers on. Geez, yeah, Wall Street wants to take on Rural Road 3. That kind of grinds my gears, and when I hear about stuff like that, I'm like, hey, maybe Trump should be setting tariffs out, especially if John Deere's trying to move manufacturing to Mexico. I mean, what the ferg? Air Force, aim high. Stay in air-conditioned rooms while Army boys work on your HVAC, watch your anime, and play Doom. I'm just kidding. Anyone that can pass basic training deserves my respect, I guess. I mean, old basic training, yeah. I'm not sure about the new basic. If you want to get into PC servicing, come on, autofocus. You have to get into a microcomputer. That looks like an IBM compatible. And I've never actually used a micrometer on the inside of a system. It's like if I have to use a micrometer, I ultimately had to throw the thing out, which sucks and I don't like, but that's kind of the throwaway technology we have. It's easier to replace than it is to get someone over here to repair it. And that really has me thinking, what is the price of labor like over in China compared to over here? And like we like having things cheap here, but at the same time, human rights and never mind. Inventory stock reduction. Yeah, you still see satellites kicking around here and there. I wonder if satellites are going to be kind of like the thing of grain elevators, old school cement grain elevators. They're going to be around forever, just like satellite dishes, I think. Whoa, check it out. Radio Shack computer printer spews out tax results every 20 runs. That is so cool. I love that technology. I don't think I've ever come across one of those. Once again, you never want to touch receipts too much. Even accountants will know. Wear gloves when around that kind of paper because it can give you cancer. Of course, everything can give you cancer, but if everything gives you cancer and the things that give you cancer the most, you'll probably want to avoid being around. Telephone voice changer. Huh. Huh. Okay. Change that voice. $189. Wow. Ho. Ho. 1985 money, too. Wow. Do it yourself home domes. That sounds like something I could do. Atari home computer system sale. Okay. All right, the back pages. I love this stuff. Rapid cooling fans, 49 bucks. According to Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia, the Great Leap Forward was an industrialization campaign within China from 1958 to 1962. Okay, according to Google, Chairman Mao's Great Leap Forward was from the 50s to the 60s. I had no idea. I thought it was actually later than that because it seems like manufacturing went the way of the dodo in the 60s and the 70s. Maybe it took them a while to catch up with what we were doing. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's it from me, Nev from Nev's Tech. But slap a like on this if you like it. Give me a sub if you like this stuff. I still got a pile more of these I gotta go through. I love going through them. I love some of the comments that I get teaching me some of the questions that I have, and every now and then, I get stuff wrong, and I love it when people tell me what's up. Really appreciate you guys. I really appreciate your viewership, and take care of each other, will you? Have a good one.